Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. And I want to welcome my Instagram fans. Now, I only have one Instagram camera on today because my friend Zachary is going to rotate the camera and make and make Instagram work. And happens to be to all of you, my Instagram fans, my YouTube fans, and my Facebook fans, not yet the radio people that will be coming on in about 5 minutes. We have a laugh track, which means that I'm actually going to be funny this week.
So then they should do that the whole show.
They should. You see, Tom, that's why you're funny. But I really want you to laugh at the joke. What's he doing? He found this new program. He's coming after me. But I want you to know, Tom, I practiced this joke this week on my son, whose children was about the joke, and he actually laughed.
And we don't need the laugh track for this one?
You need the laugh track because I don't have no luck, you know. Everybody, as you know, the holy holiday of Rosh Hashanah is coming. So I have a little speech that I'd like to give to all of you when I start the show. Today I was giving out apples and honey on the street. That. Yeah. You're not talking into the mic.
Oh, it's right here.
I know. But it's okay. You don't have to, Tom, if you don't want to. But I was giving out with this young lady, Yin Tan.
Yes.
She's running for city council. You know what district she's running?
In the 43rd council district. It's a new Asian majority district.
We want her to win. We want her to win.
In the neighborhoods of Bensonhurst, Gravesend, Bath Beach.
She's really cool. Yep. I hung out with her today.
She was on the show months ago.
She was a show. She was giving out honey and apples, and people were taking from her, and she had a hard time saying Rosh Hashanah.
I was listening to that, and I was like, that was interesting.
I kept practicing with her, but I told her just say Happy New Year, and it was good enough for her, you know. But again, it was very cool. An Asian lady, and she was giving out to other. Now, she didn't understand why people didn't want to take the apples and honey from her. I said, well, the men are not going to take it from you. The women will, so I let her concentrate more on the women. But by me, everybody took
trial by fire.
Yeah,
trial by fire.
But we did good, and we gave out a couple of hundred. I gave out some COVID testing, even though I don't believe in the COVID. And she tells me, why are you giving out COVID if nobody in your neighborhood believes in COVID? I said, just let them take the test. You never know for the kid if they give it a hard time. But we have a very interesting show. We have a lot to talk about. And if you would have seen the introduction to my show tonight, and Tom, the mayor went on television and said the city is lost.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So he's the one who thought bringing in 2, 3, 5, 7,000 migrants was funny, and now he's at 100,000 migrants
and counting.
And count them. And you know that he's full of crap because the money is coming in left and right, and he's saying the money's not coming in, and he's just. Either he has no idea how to run a business. He has no idea. I mean, did he run? He was a captain. He must have run a division or something, no?
He's not a businessman. He's a career politician. They're the last people on earth that you would want to manage your money, Heshy. So you pretty much answered your own question when it comes to the migrants in this out-of-control situation.
I don't know. The Instagram, by the way, stopped. I don't know why it stopped.
While you do that, I want to say hello to some people here. I want to say hello to Black Beauty. Lenny, of course, is here, and he'll be in the house, I'm sure. Yid Rose says hello. Anthony Finkel, our very good friend Anthony Finkel from the friendly confines of Ditmas Park, not too far from here, and he says hello with exclamation points. So we say hello. And yes, I know we're having an issue on the YouTube screen. People are seeing the HeshyTischler.com for City Council logo, and they like it to be popped off.
Well, that's right, and because he blocks my handsome face. I don't know why.
Maybe it's because we're getting more ratings with the logo on. I don't know.
I don't know.
They don't want to see our faces. See? That was funny.
When I knock him, he puts on the laugh track. All I know is I lost my Instagram. I blame it on him as well, but we got the Instagram back again. Wow. Can you please stop those sounds and noises? Anyways.
Are we on a comedy show? Is this Saturday Night Live rather than just a Heshy show?
When I don't give him his paycheck, that'll be funny. You know what I mean?
Well, no comment on that. I'm pleading the fifth, and I'm glad that the laugh track agrees with
God,
me.
Why did I buy that for him? You know what I mean? I just wanted him to make it funny once. Anyways, we're going to welcome our fans. Which fans are we welcoming?
Well, my favorite to start things off is 620 WSNR. I want to say hello especially to those people. 1640 WJPR, and also can never forget 93.5 FM WVIP, just like the show VIP many years ago with Pamela Anderson. So,
well, welcome to my listeners. Welcome again to the YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram fans. And, of course, if you want to call into the show, you can call where?
646-974-1580, 646-974-1580.
I want you to know this week I went to a wedding. I went to a Sheva Brachas. I went to a bar mitzvah. And last night, after I was in I don't know where I was lost somewhere.
That's a great
I
way
know
to bring.
that I got lost somewhere. I took Linda, I dropped her off. Oh my God, what's going on with this Instagram? It keeps going dead over here.
Kind of like where you were on the road yesterday, where you kind of got lost. You didn't know where you were.
I don't know why this Instagram keeps going down. I'm very upset with myself.
Well, you need 9 seconds, almost like how Denzel Washington's character Robert McCall does to open the movie of Equalizer 3. You need 9. You got 9 seconds, Heshy. 9 seconds.
9
to
seconds.
Get this right.
Well, I'm going to try to get this Instagram
And Lenny wants
going.
to say that we get more ratings because Lenny is on. Well, I guess we'll find out when I'm sure he calls in along with Mr. Anthony Finkel, and I'm sure those guys will have a lot to say here. So if you are out there, you can go to HeshyTishler.com and check out all the things that Heshy is doing pertaining to his run here for City Council. Election Day is November the 7th, and stop by our office anytime at 5318 16th Avenue, corner of 54th Street.
That's right. Thank you so much for saying that. I got my Instagram came back up. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. Somebody's messing with me, but that's fine.
So you were saying you were this thing you didn't know you were.
By the way, I didn't give the shout outs to my delicious and wonderful granddaughter, Mira Nava.
The best part of the show, Heshy,
Right.
when you say Mira Nava.
I love it. Layla Tamar and
Sergeant Peter.
Yeshua, my grandson, and my oldest grandson, my first grandson, and of course Sergeant Peter.
Got
of
it.
course.
Another
And
one.
Ellie, I know that you are going to be with
Tamara,
us shortly, and so I want to say hello to you. And Tom, you said hello to your friends.
And also Josh Bailey's tuned in. By the way, he's right now in Columbus, Ohio. Josh Bailey out there in Columbus, Ohio,
Well,
listening to us.
Good, finally somebody. Guys, I want you to know that my granddaughters, I made a video with them singing.
Yes,
and I
I
didn't
saw
think
that.
it would go so good, but it was so cute. It went viral. I got over 100,000 hits of these two little girls singing "Happy New Year, Happy Rosh Hashanah" with the apple. I mean, people just loved it, and I didn't think it would be.
Maybe they should
would
host
go
the
anywhere.
show instead.
They should host the show. They'd be very funny.
Yes.
Anyways, we're gonna have an interesting show. But first, we're gonna start with my quote of the week.
Yes.
And here it is.
Okay.
And it's before Rosh Hashanah. By the way, can you show everybody the honey I got
Oh,
you?
I
You know, we have honey. We give away honey and apples, and we give away honey to people. I got Tom a honey, so he should have a sweet year, and he should find himself a sweet wife. You know what I mean? I need Tom to wear long pants finally.
In about 2 months.
Okay.
For now, you're not yet.
Okay.
It's 80 degrees.
Anyways,
still.
enjoy. I want you to have the honey on the holiday.
I will.
This is my quote. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And that was said by Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Yes.
And what it lies in our power to do, it lies in our power not to do. So let me just tell you something. I know times are dark. I know times are bleak. But be ready, guys. We could dig ourselves out. I know Mayor Adams went on today television and said, the city might be lost. He's giving up. He's scaring us. They're all trying to scare us. They're all trying to hurt us. You know, when they impeached Trump twice, we were all depressed that he might get us. Now we're trying to impeach Biden. I know the other side is depressed, but they're saying, "Oh, wasting of money." They wasted hundreds of millions of dollars, the Democrats, and now we're going to waste $100 million on impeaching Biden. And you know what? While we're hungry, while we're starving, while we can't even pay our taxes and they're fining and screwing us. And you know, Mayor Adams said that he was going to cut. He told all the agencies across the board,
15%.
cut your workforce by 15%. It means you're cutting the fire department, you're cutting sanitation, and the police. So you are defunding the police.
He is defunding the police, and he's cutting overtime.
And he's cutting, but you know what he's not cutting? The building department, Department of Finance, HPD, 17,000 workers. Why? Because they bring in $4 billion of revenue. Those are the laziest, no good, incompetent liars on the planet. And them you're not cutting. But you're cutting my firemen, and that's why we have crime going up.
And just like how one of his commissioners today was in handcuffs, ex-commissioners here.
Ex-commissioner committing crime. I mean, half of his people are committing crimes. There's no way they're living on such low budgets. You know they're doing bad things.
And this guy, by the way, who got in handcuffs, who was a quote-unquote Republican city councilman, actually just wrote a children's book. This guy had some audacity.
And he got a free apartment, wasn't it, by this guy Collar, a big developer?
Yep.
The guy doesn't even know.
Name sounds familiar here in Borough Park.
Yeah, Collar, right? And this guy is a big-time developer, and he went and bribed him with an apartment. Can you bribe me with an apartment? Because my apartment is very small, and me and Linda would like to expand. I'm sure there was it. Anyways, I gave you a quote. Now I'd like to tell you my joke. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Now you can play the laugh track, Mr. what's it called again? What's his
Producer.
name again? Producer.
Mr.
Yeah.
Producer. Please get his name right. He
You know,
could
by the
actually
way,
cut our mics
wait a
off.
minute, according to the mayor, maybe I cut his salary by 15%.
Oh.
That's right. Let him
Tough
cry.
crowd here
Yeah, I
tonight,
know
Heshy.
that. Whatever.
Very tough
Here we
crowd.
go. Let me just tell you this one. When I took my son Avram, the producer, out to a local deli when he was about 6. I took him out to a local deli when we were about 6 years old for lunch.
All right.
And the waitress came over and she looked at me and Avram and said, you know, cops and kids eat for free. So I quickly nudged Avram. I thought he'd be smart enough that he'd say he's 5 years old. And Avram says, I'm a police. Tell me that wasn't funny. Oh, God, help me. He's just completely lost.
Boy,
anyways,
it's a Wednesday night for sure tonight, Heshy. I'll say
I
that.
know that. Here's my favorite joke of the week.
All right, let's do it.
I pick up my granddaughters from school. And I drive them around, and you know we're beeping the horn, and I'm a tough driver because people act crazy when they drive, especially in Broadpark and Flatbush.
Sure.
So I took Mira and I put her in a regular seat, and we're driving around, and by mistake I beeped the horn. And I look over to Mira and I said to her, you know, and she's looking at me. I said, it was a mistake. I beeped the horn. She says, I know. I said, how do you know, Mira? I beeped it by mistake. She says, you didn't say idiot this time. You know, I always say idiot when I beep the horn. Okay. Well, I thought,
Driving in
where's my
Brooklyn.
laugh track on that one? That was very funny. I thought that was funny.
Driving in Brooklyn. That's what it is, Heshy. Driving in Brooklyn.
To all my fans, I want to give you a speech. Why isn't the laugh track going on? Because he's going to laugh at it afterwards.
Are you sure this isn't like Saturday Night Live rather than Just Enough Heshy?
Isn't it like MASH or something? You know, they also had the
Yeah,
laugh track,
MASH was a
Anyways,
MASH.
I want to talk to you
King of
serious
Queens,
for a moment. The Jewish holiday is coming, and the way it works by us, Tom, is Jews ask for forgiveness. Even though I don't need any forgiveness, I haven't done anything wrong. I think I'm a good guy, but we all have to ask for forgiveness. We never know what
Absolutely.
we've done bad.
Sure.
So I want to ask, and here's my little 1-minute speech, and I want you to hear it, everybody. And this is to all of you. We have to ask for forgiveness. I have to ask for forgiveness on Rosh Hashanah. I want to say I'm sorry before the up and coming holiday of New Year of Rosh Hashanah. I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be mayor or king. I don't want to rule or conquer this world. I want to help everyone if possible, Jew and Gentile, black man or white. We all need help. We all want to help another human being. We're all like, and we all want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate or despise one another in this world. There's room for everyone on this good earth. It's rich, and it can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we've lost our way. We've lost our way to greed. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, and goose stepped it into us. Misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we've shut out machinery. It gives us abundance machinery, but it has left us for want. Our knowledge has made us cynical. Our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much. We feel too little. More than the machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost. The airplane, the radio, the TV, the phone have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for goodness of men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching tens and thousands around the world, and despairing men and women and children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. For those who hear me, I say, don't despair. The misery that upon us is passing, and greed will be stopped. Anyways, again, my Instagram keeps going off.
And while you do that, I wanted to, because we didn't get a chance to mention it last week and it just passed a few days ago, I want to obviously give my thoughts and prayers to everybody that was impacted by September 11th. I know it's 22 years to the day as of this past Monday, but I know that obviously a lot of people here, especially in our community and the surrounding areas here, definitely were impacted by it. So I just wanted to extend my condolences to everybody impacted by September 11th. And I know there was a lot of ceremonies out there across the city, and I just wanted to take my time and just extend my thoughts and prayers to everybody else out there. While Heshy,
I figured out what was wrong with the Instagram. We put on the wrong Instagram. We double Instagram. So I went with the big Instagram. So now I'm at the smaller Instagram account, and Zach has the big Instagram. I don't know. Who cares?
well, at this point, Heshy,
my producer has no idea
you're
what's
live
going on.
right now. So
I'm live. Welcome.
You have to block all the people.
Right.
all the peanut gallery.
Welcome the other Instagram fans, and we're ready to start our show. You missed my joke and quote. It was very good. I do have another joke, by the way. Can
All
I
right.
say it? I was driving.
Whatever you want.
I'm going to say I was driving down Coney Island Avenue, and I saw out of the blue a Mexican restaurant I never saw before. And I pulled over. It looked great. I couldn't believe there's a kosher Mexican restaurant.
Kosher Mexican?
Right,
Interesting,
but there was one problem. It wasn't open. So I quickly ran out of the car, and I
Right.
started jotting down the name. And a man saw me jotting down the name, and he was standing by the door, and he comes over to me. He says, "No, that's not the sign on the door. The sign says in Spanish, closed on Mondays." I was writing down the wrong name. Anyways, I want to...
Not closed on Saturdays?
Right, it's
I
not...
would say closed on Saturdays, right?
well,
Because
it
closed
said
on
Sunday
Mondays,
also.
kosher Mexican.
You know, Mayor Adams doesn't understand that he's hurting this city. He's bringing in migrants, and I know everybody, we keep cretching
And Lenny
about
wants
it
to
over
talk
and
the
over
Staten
about it.
Island event. We'll talk about
Right,
it, but
you know, and the protests don't work. You know what works? You have 35 city councilmen being elected.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going to be one of them, and I'm
Yep.
hoping that you actually come out. Do you want to change? You can stop the migrants now. We in the city can stop it. But again, if you put in your same old people like Kalman Yeager, who's
Ina
gonna defund the police,
Vernikova,
Ina
the
Vernikova,
Staten Island people who go in, and I know Lenny's going to be there tomorrow with Scott Lebedo, but these guys voted for the city council budget, $112 billion, and now they're going to anyway cut NYPD funding. So right now, if
So
you're
they
right
lied.
now,
They said they're not defunding all of your little Republican, and not only are they defunding, they're going to cut down your police force. Do you know? I was watching a video today how people are breaking windows in the train stations and
Yes.
in the train cars. So now we have crime, and the trains are going behind, and there's less train cars. And by vandalizing them, you're now slowing down our train service.
we're going back to the days that you saw in the 70s and the 80s.
And the migrants are committing crimes left and right, fighting with the police, beating up the police. There's no control, but you're going to cut.
And that's going to get worse because we've spoke about the fact that they're only in these shelters for 60 days. So
Right.
basically, if you're entering, whether it's Landis Avenue on Staten Island, whether you're entering in any other place in Brooklyn,
there,
Creedmoor in Queens,
no.
Floyd Bennett Field,
Floyd Bennett Field.
wherever it might be, you're going to be out of there in 2 months. So
Right.
what are you going to do? You're going to basically go out there and vandalize whatever it is in the community.
Right,
So
and you know, they have no idea what they're doing. They're committing crimes. While the governor is forcing us to take COVID boosters now, you know that.
well, we spoke about that several weeks ago.
But she's actually pitching it right now that we should do COVID booster shots. Now, they don't have to do it. They don't have to do it.
Because it's the elites, it's the ruling class. The ruling class, as long as they stay in power, they feel they can do whatever they want. And that's
Just
the
like
bottom line.
Schumer. First, he says we have to impeach a thing, and he says even if Biden is wrong, why are we wasting time on stupidity and in impeaching a president? You know, why are we doing? What is it? They did it. It was what did actually?
They want to do an impeachment inquiry.
Inquiry. So you know the inquiry and then the whole thing. I mean, I believe, but they should do it. But he's saying we should stop it, and then I just don't.
But how about Schumer helping out here when it comes to this crisis that we have here in New York and New York City? Mr. Press Conference, Chuck Schumer, who has never met a camera that he hasn't liked. But what about this problem that we have here in New York where, again, Adams, who you spoke about, basically said, the city is finished, it's over, forget about it. Now he's cutting all these vital services, all these programs.
He should never have been elected
And
mayor.
we want to entrust Hakeem Jeffries to be the Speaker of the House. We want to entrust Chuck Schumer to be the Senate Majority Leader. These people don't even do anything for their own constituents. Now we want to basically put them in charge.
Yeah,
they
you
have
can
failed
see
us.
Senator Schumer does nothing for New York City. Yeah, he gives a couple of schools windows and he throws money the other way. You know, they need an air condition by the 66th precinct.
Yes.
So Sawyer, our old co-host over here, now she's the chief of staff. You know, she stabbed me in the back. Whatever.
Yeah,
I don't really care.
some assemblymen who won't be there much
Right.
longer.
So
They'll be thrown out.
so they asked Lester Chang, can you get some money for the police station? This is your police station. He has no money to give, or he has no funding to give. I mean,
And that's
this
the
is
guy that was in Manhattan, right? Who ran in was in Manhattan and running in a Brooklyn district.
Right,
That's the guy?
right.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so here it is, Mr. Chang, we gave it to you. We fought for you. We got you into office. They were going to throw you out of office. You hired some wacko idiot to be your chief of staff who has no political experience whatsoever. And now you can't even get an air conditioner for the police station. I can write you a check.
But you know, Heshy,
just call me up. I'll write a check for the police station. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm gonna go to the police station tomorrow. Ask them what they want. I'm gonna buy.
We're a
them an
few
air
blocks
conditioner.
away from it, Heshy.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going tomorrow to buy an air conditioner out of my money.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna ask Linda for an increase in my allowance. I mean, how much could it cost? Even if they want a big, gigantic one, I'm gonna go buy them an air
But
conditioner.
you know what, Heshy? That's almost like in a neighboring district, there's an assemblyman, Michael Novikov, who was at a rally in Queens. There was a special election in Kew Gardens yesterday. And this guy, Michael Novikov, the reporter had asked him, so if the person you were supporting, who was a Republican, you know, gets in there, why should we elect him? And Michael Novikov said, well, you know, as a Republican, we really can't do anything, but we have to hope. These are the kind of people that represent us in Brooklyn, whether it's Lester Chang, who couldn't get an air conditioner, Michael Novikov, who basically said there's no reason to elect any Republicans in the state assembly, or in fact, any Republicans in Brooklyn.
But why don't they get up? There's so much they could do. They can filibuster. They can make code. They can make deals. They just don't want to.
Because
they're sitting there
these
lazy.
aren't the right, because they're lazy people, and these are not people that
and
are
they
fit
want
to
to get
serve.
to the, you know, just like, you know, when President Trump, he says, I want $10 billion for the wall. Okay, we all went crazy. Wow, so much money.
Right.
Instead, they gave $250 billion plus to Ukraine for their protection. But protection for Americans, you won't give us $10 billion. I don't understand the thinking.
There is no thinking. It's like you went on before talking about Adams, right? And Adams basically, oh, well, he doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. Biden knows exactly what he's doing. Schumer knows exactly what he's doing. What they're doing is systematically destroying this country. And that's the bottom line. And they're going to continue to do it unless people wake up, and you have an opportunity November the 7th to wake up and vote out your city council member. Because
Vote
right
them
now,
out.
to me, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm glad you said this, Heshy. It doesn't matter to me, Republican or Democrat. All of the crop of the city council incumbents, what have they done to deserve
You know,
re-election?
they keep, you know, this idiot Romney you like. He
I
says-
didn't say I liked
Okay.
Romney. I said off the air that he's not running for re-election.
And thank God, you know, this Romney says, I made bipartisan. So if he's able to do bipartisan stuff, we can do bipartisan stuff here in the city council. We can do, why isn't bipartisan happening? Just because you're elected Republican or Democrat, big deal.
You know what they call that? They call that because right now in government, and especially in the city council, it's called the incumbent party. It's the incumbents and everybody else. So that's why, Heshy, we need you, because you're really one of the only independents running. You're actually legitimately running on the ballot as an independent.
And I will pick a side, and I will be part of a team, and I will make things happen. I'll use common sense. Like today, I had people, you know, I told you a story of a woman that was abused and killed by her husband.
Yes.
And they took the baby away, and finally, I was able to get to court and stand before the judge.
Yes.
And the judge was pretty impressed with me. Okay, my celebrity status, whatever it was. And somehow I was able to have the judge look over all the documents, take back the case on, give us a new psychiatrist or forensic
Evidence.
a person, and,
Right.
and a new person to overview the grandparents. And he said, maybe you could work out a deal, Mr. Tischler. Maybe you could work something out. And I said, Judge, thank you for giving the option. And he told it to the other side. I said to the other side, you're going to spend 20, 30, 40,000 on this case, and it's going to take us 6 months, a year, 2 years. We're going to spend that kind of money. Let's sit down and make a compromise. Make a compromise instead of, and either way, the judge is going to anyways, you know, rule one way or the other or make a compromise anyways. So we could do this as grown people, and they listened somewhat. And the judge said to me, maybe you should have been a lawyer, Mr. Tischler. And I told him that I wanted to go to law school younger, but, you know, my father died, and I had to take care of the family. And then I got married, and then I had children. And then I got involved with community activities, and I got people involved with jail, and I was helping young kids. And then we took in kids. So my life always turned that I could never go
But
to
it's
school.
even like today you received a phone call from a constituent that I had spoken with and basically needed your help on an issue. That's what you are. Listen, you're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a
Yeah.
6 days a week.
Right. No, but Saturdays I do walk around. I do
Saturday
go visit.
evening.
People hate me. No, Saturday during the day I go visit different people to make
Right,
sure they
right.
didn't die or visit them or say hello to them. So I am busy making my rounds. Everybody says, "Oh, you're so busy running around." No, I have a regular job. I work. I put in my 8-9 hours, but during the day I run out. Like today, I snuck out and I went to give out the honey and the apples.
But you know, you mentioned the word compromise, and politics is supposed to be about compromise. Politics is supposed to be about doing the people's business, right? You've always been somebody that's doing the business, whether it was in COVID, with taking the chain and unlocking them, you know, whether it was fighting to change the COVID color zones, whether it's being helping in the soup kitchens, whether it's helping the homeless, the foster kids that you've helped raise. And that's what it's about. And the people that are in office currently, they're not doing that. So if
they come out and they give out a day of food. Do you know what? And I want to tell you something, and I don't want to brag. Me and Rabbi Fish from the organization Sheva Sachem, we give out approximately 151 boxes of food every Friday. And again, I'm going to repeat it to you. My box of food have chicken, soup, side dishes, fish, cookies, cake, a whole beautiful set of meals to last you for a good 4 meals, even though you're going to cut in Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and maybe a little bit of Sunday. And a meal to feed 5 people nicely, cooked chickens. We do 150 boxes. Do you understand what that comes out to be? That comes out to be about 600 families a month, 7,000 packages a year. Do you want to calculate that I've done over the last 10 years? We've already surpassed over 100 and something thousand families that we've fed over the last 10 years.
And think about the lives,
the money,
and the lives that you shaped, the lives that you helped.
Not me only, all my volunteers.
But you played a role in that.
Yeah.
You played a role.
So
and where
proud.
are our council members? Oh, what we see with our council members is
they come out with
photo
a bag
op
of
time, and then they
say,
say, we're going to go and do this, and we're here, and they're fooling the people. Yeah. They're fooling
And
them.
you guys go back there because they wear a suit and tie. Okay, so now I'm wearing your suit and tie. By the way, my cleaners stole 2 of my ties. And Linda's very angry. Go make them pay. I said, Linda, they're not going to pay the $55 for the
Were they
stupid
good
tie
ties?
anymore. They were good ties.
Well, then you
Well,
might have a
she
problem.
paid $55 and more, so they were. I know I lost my money, and I had to pay for the cleaning service.
Oh, there goes the money from your allowance.
I told these people from the West Side Republican Club, I was going to make fun of them. Yesterday they had.
I didn't even know they existed.
I know they are because they're stupid. This guy Hy Drusen and his wife Marsha Drusen, they're just 2 idiots.
Are they Martians? Marsha.
So I asked. They have Sid Rosenberg, a comedian, speaking.
Yep.
They have some guy who lost to Bragg speaking, and I asked to be able to speak. She says, "Why do you want to speak?" I said, "Well, because I want to be able to push my image out." We were Manhattan people. I said, "Okay, but they're still my people. They're Jewish people. They're Republicans, and they spread the word. That's the way New York works." She says, "What? You want money?" I says, "No, I don't need money. If you noticed, I raised the most money in the city of New York. I don't want, because we give money." I said, "Okay, you can give me money, but I don't need your money." And then she says, you want volunteers? I said, volunteers are always good, but of course I don't need them now yet. They're too early, whatever. And then she comes back to, we're not letting you speak. And then this nerve of this idiot, Hy Drusen, that's why the Republican losing. He's like one of the club members. He says, you lost the election. I said, I lost the Republican nomination, which really I didn't lose. I won by 1 vote, but I'm on as an independent. You lost. You can't be running again. You switch parties, and you're running against Ina Vernikova, one of our own person. I said, I'm not running against Ina Vernikova. I'm running against Kamenyig. I mean, these guys don't even have an idea.
But they got no problem with Ina Vernikova, who was a lifetime Democrat, marched in Black Lives Rally protest. Ari Kagan was a Democrat. Alec Bukrasny was a Democrat. Michael Novikov was a Democrat. Lester Chang lives in Manhattan, if that's the case still. I mean, the point is, they got no problem with them, but for you, they have a problem. Because you're not the party's candidate.
And
that's
he couldn't take that I wasn't going to kiss his ass to get some money. So he was bothered that I didn't need anything from him.
Because you're independent. Heshy, you've always, no matter when you've ran.
So Hy Drusen from the, from what is it called? The West Side Republican Club. They were in the Jewish Center. you're an idiot. And I never want to speak, and I hope you don't need me.
I think you
know,
gave him more publicity than he's ever
I
given,
know.
so I think you should never mention the club's name again.
I know it's before Rosh Hashanah. I shouldn't be knocking you, but you're an idiot. And beep, beep, like my niece, my granddaughter would say, beep, beep, idiot. I mean, come on, the man insulted me. Like today, I was standing with Yin Tan giving out apples and honey. And this guy from the Hamadiyya, that nobody ever reads this newspaper. And instead of coming over to me, he starts talking to her. And I said, look, we're giving out apples and honey. I'm trying to help her. Whatever. He says, oh, you're a laughing stock, a joke. I said, you came over here on his little, he doesn't even have a motor on it. One of those scooters that the kids push with their legs.
They look like an e-bike almost.
But they're not, what I mean? Use your leg.
An electric scooter.
Whatever, it could be electric scooter. And I said, and not that I'm making fun that he lives in a basement, but that's not a reporter. He comes there to make fun of me, not to talk to me in the middle of Borough Park, and I'm there trying to help the lady. He could have been nice and waited afterwards, but he came to bother me, to show me, and he even reported wrong. When I asked him to report on how much money I collected. Oh, it didn't show up yet. I said, but you know what I collected. You don't have to wait till the matching funds hit. But, he just wanted to make
on a positive note, listen, November 7th is coming. We're 55 days away. Yeah. It'll be the voters who will decide. They're
you guys
the
in
people
Borough
that will
Park,
decide.
I'm starting to get commitments from the Bubba 45. They are, I'm going to be helping them, and I'm starting to work with the rabbi. I have commitments from Tush. I have commitments from a lot of regular, smaller rabbis that like me. Now, I know you want the big hits, but here's the deal, guys.
Yes.
Come out to vote. Come out
That's
to vote.
It's going to be a very low turnout.
Why don't you take a chance? It's only for 2 years. How could you go long? But you're going to put.
And this is the election where there's nothing else on the ballot.
Right.
So your vote could really, really make the difference. And look at it this way: it was one vote we won the election vote on election day. Just think of if we had a few more votes. Right. But now we can channel that into November 7th. And that's why if you didn't vote in June and you want to vote now, you have an opportunity to vote Heshy Tischler, to vote him to the city council. You can do that on the Borough Park Flappers Party.
Look, it popped up on the screen. And now, listen, guys, I don't want to talk bad about Zelensky because I'm on the fence with him.
Okay.
The president of Ukraine. I'm going with foreign now.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So today I was reading just something crazy that he's going to make sure that the Ukrainian refugees that go to the other countries will act like terrorist cells. Why would you say something like that? Why would you scare the world? Why would you even think about being a terrorist cell, even if you're wrong?
And that's an interesting strategy because if you're going to do something like that, wouldn't you not tell anybody?
But even if you are going to tell everybody, you're going to injure. A terrorist cell doesn't
100.
go after only the army or the government. They do injure innocent bystanders and people.
But do you think that's a bluff to get maybe more funding?
It could be, but still, you don't give us enough headaches. You don't give us enough agita in this world. That's what I was trying to tell you. Greed. The greed of these men and women that are in power just want to knock us and take us. And I'm tired of them, and we have to fight back. And this is where we start. This is where we start. We need to build a base. We need to build an army. I don't want to talk revolution because if I say that word revolution, they're going to come after me and what? They're going to what? Put me away for what? Like
who knows? Who knows?
What could they arrest me for?
Inciting a riot?
Not they've done that already.
I know that.
But I'm saying, being not a good citizen. What is that again?
Was it treachery?
January 6th. What are all those people being arrested?
It was an insurrection.
Not insurrection, right? It's an insurrection, but it's a crime.
Well, while you say that though, Josh Bailey actually says the Las Vegas odds are that Heshy's winning on November 7th. So Josh Bailey for Columbus,
Josh,
Ohio,
I love you, baby boy.
My mother's tuned in, by the way. She says hello.
Oh, really? I like your mother. At least we have one good, you know what I mean, Bryce. No, I like it. Can you please tell the man to wear one-time long pants? Do you wear long pants when you go to weddings?
I really haven't gone to a wedding before, so I couldn't tell you. They wouldn't invite me, Heshy. I mean, I'm a unique character. You're like you're a unique character. In the wrestling world, I'm like you. In the political world, you're you. So it's kind of where the match made in different ways.
I got you. We're going to take a phone call in a minute. We're going to take a phone call in a minute. But I just want you to show you how New York City we're running a fair. They shut down our Airbnbs. This is a business that pays taxes. Business that puts people up. I don't want to sleep in a hotel anymore. It's disgusting. It's dirty.
Especially now with the migrants. migrants being in almost all of them.
Filth, disgust. So you rent a nice apartment from a nice family, like you want to stay by my house. You pay a decent price at Airbnb, and you can do this all over the world. Now New York City is shutting them down not to make a living. So the people are not going to stop. So now people are starting to go on the black market, back to giving their Airbnbs to Craigslist, back to giving it to different back pages or different hidden websites. So now we're not going to pay taxes on it. We're not going to show you what we're going to do. He's going to lose more money. Why would you shut down the Airbnbs? Because of the hotels, but the hotels are taking in only migrants.
But you answered the question. The unions probably, that's what they want.
Yeah. We're going to take a phone call. Who's on the phone?
Hi, it's Anthony.
Hello, Anthony. How are you?
Hi, Heshy. Hi, Tom. How are you guys? Great show tonight.
Thank you.
What's on your mind, my friend? I want to ask you a question. Do you like your Mayor Adams?
To be honest, I'm very disappointed with Eric Adams.
Thank God.
I liked him as borough president, but he is not fit to be the mayor.
Right. When he was borough president, he helped us. He at least fought for us a little bit.
He was an advocate for Brooklyn.
He was an advocate
he brought a lot of stuff to Brooklyn Shore.
Very good. Right, but he's lost now. He does not know how to run a business. Well,
right, but also as borough president, he's more of a figurehead. You know, we don't look to him for legislation or these major city issues like running the budget. I wanted to comment about what you were talking about with a lot of these elected officials and how they're completely unqualified for what they do. You know, I'm on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm on there a lot. And then I see city council members like Shahana Hanif and Lincoln Wrestler going on and talking about, oh, we need to spend more money to take care of the migrants, when they don't understand that we're already slashing critical programs that we're paying with our taxes.
Correct.
They want to, Shahana, she's advocating to spend $80 million from the budget to go and give these guys complete legal representation. And we're already cutting the budget on all these other civil services. And then you got people like Lincoln Wrestler saying, oh, the mayor's comments are xenophobic and they're this and they're that. And, you know, these guys, this playbook is so corny. It's so tired. We see them do it all the time. They use the same words. If they don't agree with you, they can't debate you. They just call you these names, these terms. And you know what? If we learned anything from President Trump, it's to not back down when they start calling us these names.
I agree.
I just want to thank you guys. Great show. I'm going to listen.
Amen to that. Amen to all that.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for the call. And Anthony, you see, Anthony hit it on the button.
He's a rational guy. That's
he's a rational,
why. He's a rational guy.
These people never have done a budget before. They don't even know how to. I bet you half of them are over budget in the house, and they don't even pay their.
Listen,
mortgages.
out of the 51 council members, I would dare to say that if lucky one of them has ever managed a budget,
right.
I mean,
and you're letting them be in charge of $112 billion budget. You know, there's so many other things they can cut. They can cut programs like the plaque program, or you can cut so many other places. But instead, they're looking to cut where our special
I got
needs
the
are.
easiest one. How about cutting these city council members' salaries? These city council members make over $150,000 a year.
$300. Let's cut them. That none of them get extra money for committees. You'll see how fast the committees end. You know what I mean?
110%.
Why don't we have no money for the lobbyists? Zero money, zero programs. They're not allowed to meet one lobbyist.
How about all these government resources they have for all these staffers that sit in an office do that all day and do nothing?
You know, Carmen Yeager hired Maria Mark, a lady who actually does nothing, is getting $60,000 a year. For what? She doesn't even show up in the office half the time.
But that's every council member.
I got you, but we don't need it. The council member is supposed to be, he's the guy we hire to sit in his office, have a secretary to take phone calls, to have an assistant. He doesn't need like 5 different assistants, and then he goes to Manhattan in his office over there, and he has a whole other staff.
But you know what, though, at the end of the day, we elected the person to be the council member, right? We didn't elect 15 other figureheads underneath. Right. So if you really want to go down to the nitty-gritty, a council member only is in the city council chambers once a month. So at the end of the day, for those 30 days, that council member should be in their office, if you want to give them a government office, between 9 to 5, and they can go out, and if constituents call them, let them go directly solve those problems. Because at the end of the day, Heshy, you know this, 96 to 97% of the job of a city council person is dealing with constituent services.
Right.
They don't vote anything.
And Carmen Yeager, if you call his office, my councilman, he doesn't pick up the phone. But you know what? Somebody showed me Gail Brewer, her name is?
Oh, yeah, who was a council member, then became Manhattan Borough president, and then went back into the city council because she needed a job.
Right. And you know what? I mean, they're saying she picks up the phone calls and she actually does her job. I don't believe that for a minute. I mean, wasn't she married to Curtis Lewa? Or
No, that's the DA of Queens, Belinda Katz.
Belinda Katz.
Wrong person, Heshy.
Who cares? They're all idiots. You know what I mean? He's showing me, please call us. I don't know what does mean, please call us. What did he say?
Well, the number is 646
Oh, 646-974-1580. 646-174-1580.
But you know, Heshy, it's just like there's a guy in Staten Island who just got elected, a Republican. And this guy, they say, apparently through the grapevine, doesn't even want to show his face in the community. He's an elected Republican. This guy, his cousin, I think, works for the borough president there in Staten Island. He's been on government payroll since he's like 12 years old.
So he's going to get a great pension.
Yeah, this is what they're all like. It's Republican and Democrat.
But you know, but I just want to show you the idiots that they are. I would have, again, I'm going to go back to foreign politics.
Okay.
You know that Iran and America traded hostages with each other. We had 5 Iranian hostages, and Iran kidnapped 5 of our Americans. So we decided to make a trade 5 for 5. You know what I mean? Even if you want 6 for 5, but we had to add an additional $6 billion. Why can't we just
That's
trade
not a fair trade.
I know that.
That's a terrible trade.
And Iran says we're going to do it.
That's worse than the Jets and Aaron Rodgers.
Right, not $6 million. Right, the Jets. I'm sorry about that. Aaron Rodgers.
Poor Anthony Finkel, by the way, just called big New York Jets fan. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a big New York Jets fan as well.
But that sounds like that trade with Iran and the U.S. $6 billion.
$6 billion they added. Just why don't you just give them the $6 billion and not give their people back? You know they're going to kidnap more of our people, and it's more money. $6 billion plus 5 people, but we have no ideas how to negotiate. We have no ideas how to do business. I mean, of course, you have Biden sitting there, was never a businessman.
He's just continuing what Obama did, and the way he endangered us with Iran and those policies. Then this is what you get when you elect people like Biden, and this is what the problem we're facing around the world.
It's the same way here in New York City and around the country. Our court system is so miserable, so terrible that when I was in court with this young person. So if you notice, today is September. I went to court September the 12th.
Right.
Our court date, our next court appearance is not till January 30th.
Makes no sense at all.
October, November, December.
4 months goes by.
4.5 months go by. And so this child that's stuck in the middle is not being actually placed. Yeah, they have to. So why don't you just speed up the division? Why don't you just speed up the forensic psychiatrist? Speed up.
I would think a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But not 4.5 months.
Especially when people come to me, Heshy, I need it tomorrow. Heshy, I need it fixed. Heshy, I need food tomorrow. People ask me, and we try our best. Sometimes I tell them it's impossible. Today I called by mistake, and I couldn't believe it. The building department picked up the phone for me. I was like, because I call every day like 20, 30 times. The guy picked up the phone. He was nice to me. Kept me on hold for like 20 minutes, and which was pretty good. Usually I'm on hold 40 minutes. And I said, I submitted a request for an inspection. And usually they say, well, we're reviewing it. And I said, come on, give me the date. He says, you didn't send in the paperwork. And then I showed him on the email. I resent it. I gave him the date, the time, and I emailed him again while he was on the phone. Oh, yeah, we got it. It's under review. I said, it's 3 weeks under review? Give me any date. Give me a date a month out, but at least give me a date. Finally, he gave me a date, and it was on Yom Kippur. It's a very holy day.
Very holy day.
I said, please. He said, what do you mean? You don't have to tell anybody you're going out on Yom Kippur. I said, it's not fair. Just give me a date. And he ended up giving me a September 20th date. My point
that's the lack of disregard for people that observe Yom Kippur. That's
but
really
you see,
poor.
I don't have to be there. He says, only the owner has to be there. You're only representing him. I said, the reason I'm representing him is because you keep screwing him.
But you're representing him. That's basically a whole huge part of the whole thing.
They don't care.
Terrible.
They do not care. They make up their rules. They change the laws. And this is our city. This is our state. This is your stupid idiot Hochul. Hochul is so busy. Again, I was telling you before the show. She created legislation against telemarketers. Are you people stupid?
But how about addressing migrants?
Right, but if you just call me the telemarketer, you know what I do?
How about tweaking bail reform?
Right.
The 2 biggest issues right now in people's minds,
but
public
she's
safety
busy with telemarketers.
Migrants.
I just hang up on the telemarketer. The telemarketer tells me, I had one guy call me from solar panels. Says, solar energy is so great. I said, solar? Are you crazy? I want to waste energy. I don't want to save energy. He says, but you're paying more. I said, I know that. I'm excited. He couldn't believe it. Then he says to me, Harold, you know what you're saying? I said, Harold's dead. You're talking to John. He hung up the
Was
phone.
that the joke of the week, Heshy?
It wasn't a joke, but that was the funnier one, right?
That was funny.
But that's what I do with the telemarketers. You just hang up on them. I have some guy calling me from Atlantic City Resorts for $99. I get a 5-day package.
But that goes to your point. Who really cares at the end of the day? Look, if somebody calls you from an unmarked number or a weird number, you hang up on them.
Hang up on them. A marked number, right? You're not going to call back 20 times because they have other people to bother and call. And if you want the telemarketer
it's
call...
just like how we spoke about Chuck Schumer. And Chuck Schumer's Mr. Sunday photo op, Mr. Sunday press conference. Hasn't met a parade that he won't go to. Hasn't met a place where he makes himself a total fool and dances like in the West Indian Day Parade.
By the way, I like some telemarketers. I like some of the products that they want. Like, I don't buy anything on, what's it called, the home television
QVC,
network.
HSN.
Right. I never buy, but once in a while I bought. Right now I saw these fans, these fans in the, what's it called again? These fans in the ceiling?
Yeah, they're like the panels.
No, it's a fan, it's a light fan. What's it called?
Like an LED fan.
It's a
almost.
fan.
They light up.
It's right. So you have to take down your old light fixture and put on a new one.
Okay.
So now they sell these sticks that have a fan on it with a bulb in it, and you just screw it in. It's such a cool item. And I saw it. I bought it. It's up to you to decide to buy it or not buy it. Of course, they can trick you into it or talk you into it. But come on, you're a grown man. You're a father. You're a mother. You have a budget. You can't just spend money and drive. I would love to go to Reserve Cut and spend $700. No, I wouldn't.
But I don't think your life is dependent. I don't think your life is basically in jeopardy because of a telemarketer calling. I just don't see it.
And even so, some people are addicted to buying. So when the telemarketers call, they buy from every telemarketer. You know what?
But that's a personal problem more than whether it's a telemarketer or not. That's on you because you made that choice. The individual's the one.
I don't go to Atlantic City because I know if
I never gambled in my life.
But if I go to Atlantic City, I know I might gamble and I might get excited. So you got to control yourself.
We spoke about this off the air a couple days ago that there's people out there that they have these uncontrolled habits and they can be serious. But that's on you as the individual at the end of the day. That's no one else. So to me, when the governor is parading around talking tough on telemarketers, get real. Let's focus on public safety. Bail reform continues to need to be tweaked. You've got this situation with the migrants, which is only going to get worse. It's never going to get better the way things are going. And the truth is, we should be sending these people back.
But you said it exactly. We have no light at the end of the tunnel.
No light at the end of the tunnel. It was basically, like I said on last week's show, the New York Post basically said they're talking about this whole thing coming back to the migrants on these work permits. They want to come up with this idea of giving them work permits. The work permit process is actually physically not changing anything about these migrants coming into New York. Right. So it's only going to add and make it further worse.
And my problem with the migrants' work permits and all of this problem is, what they're going to do. By giving them work permits, giving them residency, you're going to let them vote as illegal aliens, and they can't do that. That's the trick. They're going to add 100,000 new voters, and we're dead. And you're going to all register them as Democrats, and they can't speak English, so they only know.
And that's why they want them. And Anthony Finkel wants to point out that there is a Trump rally this weekend. One of them is in the Hamptons. The other one is out in Bedminster, Bedminster, New Jersey. And that's basically what he says here.
Can you tell us when? Because I want to go to the one in Bedminster if it's not on Sunday. I want to go there and maybe I can get to see Trump. Tell me when it is. We have another caller. Let's take another caller before the show ends. And we also have a few more minutes with our listeners on WSNR, channel 16.
WVIP, 93.5 FM, and 1640 WJPR.
Who's on the phone with us?
This is Zach. How are you, Heshy? Good evening.
Hello, Zach. How are you?
We're doing well, and everything's going out good on Instagram. And I wanted to tell you, when scammers call you, the longer you keep them on the phone, like you were saying, the better. You're just sparing other people from getting the same hassle. And it's an art form called scam baiting, and many people actually do it. They call the scammers in India and tie them up for hours with stories and tricking them.
Oh yeah,
and
you
it's a
should
very
see.
fun game people
You
like to
know,
play.
when they ask me
Anyone
how,
can do it.
I know. Thank you, Zach. When sometimes they call me the telemarketers, how you doing today? I said not good. My wife passed away. My foot hurts me. My son stole my money. And after like 4 minutes, they hang up the phone. And
You sound like Al Bundy rather than Heshy Tischler.
because right, because these guys, it's only when I'm bored, especially when they call me on my cell phone
Well, that's what
driving
Zach
in the
is
car.
saying, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or when they're making a call like that, come on, how you doing? And we only got a minute for you. I mean, what do you mean you got a minute for me? I would just ask me if I'm interested or not, and I would tell you yes or no, but they have to push me. I know they're salesmen. I'm also a salesman, but I like to sell a product that I believe in. You know what
Absolutely,
I mean?
absolutely.
And I'm not going to con you or use your credit card
And
or do something
Anthony
by
also
mistake.
wants to say scam baiting is hilarious on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that, and I want you to know that I'm very into justice and the right way. You know, I was telling somebody today to watch the movie Justice for All by Al Pacino. I don't know
Yes.
if you ever saw that.
Yes.
Here's a man that believed in the system, thought the system is right. But at the end of the day, what happened was he saw that the system is no good. I know the system is no good. Today I had a young man who came by to me, Heshy, I left town. I said, wow, I can't believe it. You really left town? He says, yeah, I can't take it anymore. Come with us. Move out of town. I say, I'm not going. I'm not giving up. He says, you'll give up sooner or later. There's no way you can hold out over here. And you know what? You might be right. But I'm a guy who has loyalty. I'm a guy who's loyal to my wife. I see a lot of other people, they get divorced and break up, and I understand that. I see people cheating and robbing and stealing. I got all of that. I try my best to stay the most honorable way. I've done it for 40 years.
Because humans are sinners in the grand scheme of things.
Okay,
we're
sinners.
not perfect.
I'm
That's
not,
why people.
But I'm not greedy. Some people need that extra $20 or $50 or $100. You know, like I'm in the middle of selling a building, right?
Okay.
And what happened was I gave a price, and they're calling to negotiate with me. I told them, listen, I don't want to negotiate. Now I offered this building that I wanted to sell a couple of years ago because I really was thinking of retiring, and I gave it out for a little bit cheaper.
Okay.
Now it's 2 years later. They came back to me and I said, wait, the price went up. It's 2 years later. I invested more money in
Sure.
the building. I fixed it up. Oh, you collected rent out of it. I said, I know, but I put more time and effort into it. Now it's more of a higher price. No, we don't want to pay. I said, now I'm not selling you the building.
And
Why
what
are
are you
you negotiating? Why are you always looking not to let me make and it's not a lot of big difference, but
Sure.
they don't let you make a dollar. I want the other side to make a dollar. I want the other side to be free. And I want people to understand that greed is not good. Who said greed was good? It was in the movie
Was it Wolf of
Michael
Wall
Douglas.
Street?
Yeah, Michael Douglas. Greed is good.
Yeah, that was Wall Street. Then
Wall
it was
Street.
later on Wolf of Wall Street.
Right,
Yeah.
greed is not good, ladies and gentlemen. Greed is not good when you're dealing with your family. You know what? People are telling me, what are you going to do with all your money? And I heard a great thing. I'm not leaving the money to my kids.
You know, I knew you were going to say that because they always say, well, you know, you can't go when you go, you can't have the money go with you. So people look at it and from that.
So my money is for me and Linda. If we have some left over, we'll give it to the kids.
Sure.
So what are you giving the kids? They tell me. What I put into them is what I'm giving them. The way I raised them, I took care of them. I was
Security.
there for this
Security you're
I was
giving
there for every holiday. I was there every single night. What I'll leave them 10, 20% of my money and let them make a joke of it. That's why the producer is getting a 15% cut in his
And
salary.
I do have to mention it. And I do have to
He
mention
keeps
it.
laughing when I'm cutting his salary.
And
I don't think it's a joke.
And I want to mention it while we have a few minutes because I don't know if Lenny's going to call in. He wants me to promote that it'll be tomorrow, 6:30 at St. John's Villa, the rally itself. So I don't know if
I'm
Lenny's...
here.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, the
There
rally?
you go.
Which rally?
The usual professional protesters rally. Sorry, Lenny. Sorry. The one
Lenny,
at St. John's Villa.
how are you, my friend? First of all, happy Rosh Hashanah, by the way.
Well, the same to you and all your listeners. But I'm a little annoyed because I really wish we had more time for the meat and potatoes. And what I mean by that is I want to mention the fact that these voters, these Democratic voters, are they aware what happened in Yonkers earlier this week? A man that was out on parole, punches a Yonkers police officer in the face, breaks his nose, and the judge lets him out with no bail.
Yeah.
If they
And
do
what
that
about
to
what
a
about the
police
what about
officer-
1 minute? What about the migrant that pushed somebody in the train tracks this week?
Well, this is what I'm saying. If they do this to police officers, Mr. Democratic or Mrs. Democratic voter, what chance do you have if law enforcement is being treated this way? The people that stick up for you are getting no justice.
But you
So
know,
what
we're
kind of
blaming
justice-
also the Democrats. It's not. It's the Republicans. It's our own
Yeah,
party.
the
Look at this guy.
Republicans, too, need to be blamed.
Look at this guy, Hy Drusen, and his wife Marsha Drusen. They don't know anything what's going on in this city, which is only Manhattan and by their little club, because they're making $10 or $20 from every member. That's how they're happy, and they get.
The Republicans don't want to
even
win
and,
either.
and
They
you know the
don't
Young
wanna win.
Republicans Club. I like that Republican, but you know what they're busy with? Margarita Monday, $50. Drunken Thursday. This is what they're all partying. Yeah, they have a speaker.
Because they
that
don't
comes-
know what it's
And
like to
come
be out there in the
and
streets to
vote
knock on doors.
November
Yep.
7th. Stop it and come out and vote on November 7th. Getting back to Staten Island. These people have $1 million homes. They're putting a school that no longer exists. No showers. You have $1 million home, and in your backyard you have generators going because they put showers in the backyard. Winter's coming. They want to put tents in Wolf's Pond in Staten Island.
It's crazy.
They talked about the Armory. They talked about the Staten Island Armory a few weeks ago.
You're cutting.
Well, we're gonna have to say goodbye. We have Woman and Lenny. We have to say goodbye to our
WSNR 620, WJPR 1640, and 93.5 FM WVIP.
Thank you to our listeners. To what I understand, we have a nice listener base from 60 to 100,000 people.
Yes.
And I'm so happy, and I want you to know that I'm proud of you guys to listening to our show and calling to our show. And Lenny,
I even had a constituent 2 weeks ago that said they listened to us on the phone. Somebody I was speaking to, a voter, said, I listen to you guys regularly every week. So
wow,
there you
good.
go.
You see, Tom,
And that's who I wanted to reach. Your viewers on the radio network. I mean, I want to get it out there. We have to put a stop to this madness.
I know, and you know what? We all say we're gonna stop. We all say I was sitting with a group of young guys the other day. We all voted for you. I said, "Come on, why would you say that? Why would you upset me and tell me a story and a lie that you voted for me? You didn't vote for me. You didn't vote for me, and just tell me the truth and come out to vote for me."
People that don't get off their couch. and
No
go out
excuse.
and
No
vote.
excuse.
That's the people.
No excuse.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyways,
no excuse.
I am. Listen to me. I'm going to continue the fight. Sure, I would like to retire one day, but I don't think I'm ready to. You know, Rabbi, I told you, and I say it many times, Heshy, we don't need you. You're not the only person. It seems like that I am one of the only people that wants to continue fighting for you and not scared to go out there and scream and holler at the mayor and the governor, because I don't see other people doing it.
They're not.
I wish
They're
we
not.
would do it.
They're not.
And
You know what? Chaim Deutsch, when he was in city council, had a weekly radio show.
Yes.
Where's Schumer? Where's Schumer? Where's all these other people? How come they don't get on the air like you do? How come we can't fire questions to them? It's something to think about.
Because there's very few Heshy Tischlers and Chaim
And you
Deutsches.
know what?
That's why.
And
That's the
sometimes
answer.
I do see on Channel 12 or Channel 5 in New York how they say, ask the borough president. And you know what? When they ask that question to the borough president, it's like the dumbest question. I heard one of the questions to the borough president, what happens if I'm standing at a bus stop and the bus doesn't stop? What should I do? You call me and I'll make sure I go there. That's the question
you know what
you
that
ask
tells
the
me, though,
stupid borough
Heshy,
president.
and for everybody else, we don't need a borough president. Why am I putting my taxpayer dollars, and on top of that, a borough president?
Five borough presidents.
5 borough presidents, and they all get limo drivers.
Right.
They all get limo drivers in the budget. Why do we need borough presidents? They have no voting power. They get
$150 million. They each get $150 million to distribute to where? To what? They don't do it. They don't give it to organizations. They don't give it to special
It's
needs
all a
kids.
scheme. It's
I
all
know.
a scheme.
I know.
It's all a scheme.
It's a game so they can move up the system. They can place them somewhere.
Look at our guy in Brooklyn now, Reynoso. Oh, are you going to run against Adams? Oh, what office are you running for? I mean, that's what they do. Melinda Katz, who's the Queens borough president. Gail Brewer, we just mentioned. Mark Levine, one of the worst.
The worst.
I mean,
Now, what is he now? The controller?
he's the borough president of Manhattan. He was
Oh,
the councilman before that. And then we've got Vanessa Gibson in the Bronx, who was the assemblywoman. Now it's the borough president. It's just ridiculous.
Heshy, you got to promise me next week's show we go full force on everything that's wrong. We have to go full. We have to devote a whole show to the the migrants, to the speed
But
cameras.
the problem that I'm telling you, you know what? The speed cameras. I have a video today of them putting up another camera in Manhattan, and it's not even 2024 when the cameras come into effect. I'm driving slow, and I'm seeing the I promise you, I was on Ocean Parkway, Tom.
Yep.
I'm driving slow, Lenny, and I'm seeing the camera blink, blink, blink. It's not possible to be blinking every single. And I pulled over. And I'm watching every single light that passes. That camera is issuing thousands and thousands of tickets
all
per
a
day.
money-making scheme.
And
All
there's no way we
money-making
could be just Ocean Parkway alone. I'm telling you, is bringing in $1 million a day.
Let's devote next week's show. Let a lot of people, not only me, call in. Let everybody get busy. Let us all start screaming and fighting for. Let's pick up.
We'll get some of those people tomorrow on Landis Avenue to call in this show. 646-974-1580. It's going to be, 500-600 people tomorrow? They should be all calling into Heshy Tischler's show, coming on here with our listenership and talking about these issues, Lenny.
Right,
That's
right.
what I think we should
Everybody, thank you for listening to the show. Play the music and
thank
let
you,
us.
Superfly,
Thank
who
you for
complains
listening.
about
Join
Ina
us.
Vernikov.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Lenny.